I'm on a lifelong mission to get musicians to study their music before they practice it. My reason is simple. When a person takes a piece of music to the piano and just starts playing it, mistakes happen. It's inevitable. This wonderful computer up here then stores those mistakes, and it becomes very difficult to remove them. Sometimes even after a long period of working to remove the mistakes, succeeding in that and playing it well, a person can be in a performance, and while under pressure, like magic, those mistakes come back. So the best possible road to take is to start out smart. A musical score is kind of like a code, a secret code. So your job is to decode it, to learn as much about it as you possibly can. Let's start with looking at the harmony. I like to mark the chords of a piece. My training has led me to understand harmony. I can pinpoint most of the chords in a piece pretty easily. The ones that are more difficult, I leave blank. I can just put an X, or I can not write it at all. And I tell the same thing to my students. Write in the names of the chords that you know. So here is a beautiful piece by Tchaikovsky called In Church, and it's a chorale, basically. So you have a series of chords and so on. So before I would sit down to play this, I would look at it and I would try to figure out, what are these chords? Basically, the first measure is all the same. I can see that easily. I count from the bottom, E, G, B, E, and I see that it's a root position E minor chord. Second measure, same process. Count from the bottom always. B, F sharp, B, D sharp. I have to do a little mental gymnastics there. I imagine the D sharp down between the B and the F sharp. I have a B major chord, which makes a lot of sense to me because I know that's the dominant chord in E minor. Third measure, again, repetition. So all I need to do is look at one of those chords, D, A, D, F sharp. I put the F sharp in the middle in my imagination, and it's easy for me to see that's a D major triad. That continues for 5 chords, and then I go back to E minor, and then I go back to D major. Now I have a new one. I'm in the third measure from the end, and the bottom note gets higher. It's a G, B, D, G. Well, I can see right away G, B, D is G major. Then I go back to my D major, my E minor, and my B major, all chords that I've played before. Now, I learned something else from doing this, aside from what the chords are. I learned that there's one measure that is different. And I store that in my memory because that might mean I want to do something different with that measure when I play the piece. So the next step, I would just go through and play the chords. E minor, B major, E minor, D major, E minor, D major, G major, D major, E minor, and B major. Suddenly I realized, actually these are all root position chords, which really does make it easy for me. The bass line actually tells me the chord, E, B, E, D, D, E, D, G, D, E, E. Mapping harmony. I'm Nancy O'Neill Breth, and these are effective practice tips. Try them.